Hey guys, this is my critical autobiography. So, I am a woman, straight. I am in the middle class. I speak English and Spanish. I am Cuban American, but my race is white. Um, yeah. So, a privilege that I feel like I have, and I am so blessed to have, is the fact that I could speak both English and Spanish because my entire family, not my entire family, but most of my family came from Cuba in the 80s, um, when they were already grown adults. They never got the chance to learn English, and I feel like that honestly helped me and my siblings and all of the young people in this generation in my family. That helped us a lot, because we obviously have to talk to our family. So we talk Spanish with them. And then we learned English in school. Um, all of my cousins and my sisters were born here in America because, like I said, my family came in the 80s. My mom came in 1980. And my dad, he came, I want to say, in 1990. So 10-year difference. And yeah, that's a really big privilege that I feel like I have. The fact that I can speak both languages, it has really helped me out, with school, with talking to new friends, and also at work. Um, I obviously live in this bubble where everybody around me speaks English and Spanish, or just Spanish. So when I have ventured out to jobs and to different places, and places outside of my school and my community, it really opened my eyes to how many people don't speak Spanish, and that's perfectly okay. But I just realized what a privilege I had, that I was able to speak Spanish and I was able to communicate with customers, with parents, with whoever that I needed to communicate with. I was able to communicate with them either in English or in Spanish, and that's a big privilege that I feel like I have, and I'm very blessed to have. Yeah. Um, some key life moments that affected me. I can't really think of anything that has happened to me, but I can think of stories that my family has told me. So my whole entire family's from Cuba, and it's not the best place to live. Um, and they just have told me stories growing up. I've heard a billion stories of them trying to escape Cuba, of them trying to escape um, everything that they need to escape, their struggles, their challenges. Um, my grandfather, I know he went through so much, to bring his family over here. My whole entire family, they literally risked their whole entire lives to come over here, and that I will never get over that, and I will always be so lucky and be so blessed and fortunate for them to be able to do that, so that they can provide for us, um, with whatever it is we want to do. Yeah. And as for key educational experiences, I feel like every teacher has impacted me in some way or another. I remember growing up, I loved all my teachers. I don't think I started not liking my teachers. I believe I want to say, maybe in high school, from kindergarten to 8th grade. I really did like all my teachers. Um, I loved my kindergarten and first grade teacher. Two different people, but I went to private school for kindergarten and first grade, and I just remember loving them. Obviously, I don't have the best memory because I was small, but they really did taught me a lot. And kindergarten and first grade is the foundation, and I learned everything. I learned cursive, which I am so blessed for because not a lot of people know cursive now. But I was taught cursive before, like, normal writing or print. So I am super blessed with that. And I remember going to public school and, like, them telling me that the teachers telling my mom that I was advanced, even though I never really felt it. And I got regular, like, so on throughout the years. But I was really lucky for that. And all of my elementary school teachers, I really did love and I really did look up to. Um, yeah, they all affected me in positive ways. I don't think there was ever a teacher in elementary or middle school that had a negative effect on me. I do remember in high school, there was one teacher. I think there's only two teachers out of like my whole entire education career that I don't like at all. And that was one in my freshman year and one in my senior year. And my senior year teacher, I just didn't like her personality. But my freshman year teacher really affected me negatively. He was the type of guy that things had to be his way or no way. I remember one time we had to write notes and we had to number our paper with the notes. And I forgot to number my paper and it was time to turn it in. So he told us, oh, remember guys to number your papers. So I was numbering my notes. And he's like in the middle of talking and he just screams my name. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? And he's like, what are you doing? Why are you writing? Why are you on your phone? I was like, what? I was like, are you serious right now? I told him, I was like, Professor, I'm not on my phone. I'm numbering my paper. And he's like, no, you're lying. I know you're lying. Why are you lying to me? And literally everybody around me was like, no, like she's numbering her paper. Like we were watching her. She was numbering her paper. And he got my paper. And it wasn't even a paper. It was 3 pages long full of notes. And he got my paper and bundled it up and threw it across the room and gave me an F. And I was so like astonished. I was like, what? I've never had a teacher belittle me and treat me like that ever in my life. And I obviously told my mom. And she told the principal, and then the principal talked to him, and he just, the next day when I saw him, it's like he had a brain transfusion and he never remembered any of it, because he was like, oh, are you sure that happened? Oh, it's just you students have me like so worked up, and it's really hard to keep up with you guys and who's telling the truth. I was like, what? Are you serious right now? I was shocked. And that is something I hope I will never be in a teacher. I don't care if I have to stick my foot in my mouth. I will always give my students a chance to explain themselves, whether I think they're in the wrong or not, because you don't understand the full situation until you let somebody explain it to you. You can't just look at something and make your mind up on it. You have to get perspective from everybody, especially if you're telling the student, like, hello. I don't know. I really did not like that at all. So political things that have happened during my career, my educational career. I remember in 5th grade, I believe it was 5th grade, or if not 6th grade, I think it was 5th grade. It was Obama versus McCain during the presidential election. And I remember that being a huge thing in my school. They even gave us our own like papers for us to circle who we wanted to win. And we discussed it in class, but not a lot because we were in 5th grade. And then another thing that happened, it was Trump versus Obama. And that was a huge thing. Everybody was talking about it in school. Nobody shut up about it. And then the last thing that happened was COVID. COVID happened during my senior year. And I think that's what affected me the most, because I was really looking forward to my senior year. And, here we are. But it's okay. You live, you learn, you move on, you get over it. Yeah, COVID really affected me. I graduated in COVID. I went to Miami-Dade College during COVID, and I graduated from Miami-Dade during COVID. So FIU is really the first time I've been back in school, in classes, ever since I was a senior, which was 3 years ago, which is kind of crazy, but that's how life is, I guess. And as for who shaped me about my beliefs and goals of education, I want to say my tutor teacher. I have had her since I was in kindergarten, all the way up until, I mean, our families are lifelong friends. So I'm always going to have her in my life. And she would be with me. She would be with me and my sisters every single day after school. She was a teacher herself. And I don't know how she did it. She taught kids in the morning, in the afternoon, and then us at night. She's just so powerful, so strong. And she taught us with love, with respect, with patience, with kindness. And that's exactly what I want to be when I'm a teacher. And I've always known I wanted to be a teacher, but she just really inspired me to for me to see what teacher I want to become. And she is that. She was the kindest, most amazing teacher. She treated us with so much patience, with so much care. She treated us like we were home kids. And that's exactly what I want to do when I'm a teacher. I want to make sure my students feel loved and feel respected and feel treated as equals, because they are. And that's what I want to accomplish for my future role as a teacher in whatever grade, kindergarten through third grade. And yeah, thank you.